Hi, I'm Santana Mullins, and this is my signature project on restraint versus de-escalation. So what is the identified problem? So many schools around the United States, including Grand Bay Elementary School, have students with challenging behaviors. These behaviors can be very intense, which can lead to students having to be restrained by adults. Situations like this occur, both the student and teacher are affected, as it can lead to a lack of trust and affect the relationship and rapport that has been built. So before I begin with Grand Bay Elementary's data, I'm going to go with some national data statistics. Most of the students who are being restrained have an individual education program, that's an IEP, and or a behavior intervention plan, which is a BIP. According to the Civil Rights Data Collection, CRDC, students who have disabilities make up about 80% of students who are subjected to the method of restraint, and that's from the ARC 2023. So now we can discuss Grand Bay Elementary School data, and this pie chart is from the school's behavior incident report. The report lists the number of incidents, which is 175 at that time, and breaks each incident into categories of behavior, incident type, and the actions taken for the incident. And if you look, restraint is the second leading behavior action taken with 21.8%. Again, according to the previous pie chart, Grand Bay Elementary restrains more than 20% of the time. So this is why the study was chosen. The study was chosen because Grand Bay Elementary School restrains more than 20% of the time when managing crisis. It was chosen due to the many referrals that I, as a special education teacher, noticed in the behavior incident report, and due to the number of times I've been called to assist with behavior situations that involve restraint. Data from the school's behavior incident report signals for a change in managing behavior, as restraint is not decreasing behavior nor improving relationships. As a special education teacher at Grand Bay Elementary, I've witnessed behavior incidents that involve restraint of students with challenging behavior deficits. It not only affects the teacher and student relationship, but it also affects the student's learning as well as the learning of others. And that's most important. Teachers need to be able to use more de-escalation skills and techniques while only using restraint as the last resort. And the purpose for this is because looking at that data, we have been overusing restraint. Restraint should be used at the very least choice. So that is why I chose to do my signature project on de-escalation versus restraint. So the sampling method and sample description. Again, overuse restraint. The purpose of this is, we want to get teachers and staff using more de-escalation skills so we don't have to use restraint as much. The sample will be adult staff on campus. All adult staff on campus would have the opportunity to receive de-escalation skills and techniques through training. The sample technique is used in the data from the Grand Bay Elementary School Behavior Incident Report to implement a school-wide plan using de-escalation training. The data will then be monitored monthly and compared to determine the success rate of de-escalating behaviors by the adult staff. Again, de-escalating is not going to stop behavior or end behavior, but it can help improve behavior and rapport in the school environment and make it more safe. The experimental research plan focuses on decreasing the use of restraints and increasing the use of de-escalation. Research methodology. The experimental research plan focuses on decreasing the use of restraint and increasing the use of de-escalation. De-escalation does not end or prevent all behaviors from occurring, but my plan is to have de-escalation training for all adults on campus. Teachers will be introduced to terminology and strategies to help reduce aggressive behaviors and promote a safe environment. The plan for this study is to compare the correlation of using de-escalation skills to decrease the number of students restrained. To determine the success rate, the behavior incident report from Grand Bay Elementary School will be reviewed monthly. Instrumentation. So what instruments are used in this research project? Grand Bay Elementary School's Behavior Incident Report is the instrument that will be used to review the number of incidents that involve the use of restraint and actions taken to manage the behavior. That is where I got the data to create that pie chart. I got that data from the school's incident report. And some questions you ask yourself. Were de-escalation skills stated in this one referral? Because this one referral is another instrument that is used to determine, because those referrals are broken down into that pie chart that we discussed when we're discussing data. Another tool that will be used is monthly feedback via Google Forms for adult staff to give input or concerns and ask for suggestions relating to behavior and de-escalation techniques. Because the school has used restraining a lot, it's going to take time, and teachers are going to have questions, and teachers are going to want to understand and hopefully want to improve, the school's environment and the rapport with students. So the Google form is just a little check-in for adult staff to give input or concerns that they may have. You want teachers to be honest and staff to be honest about learning new tricks. Collaborative efforts. Who's involved? Administrators will provide training for managing crisis safely. That managing crisis safely we'll talk about a little bit more when we get into other slides, but it's a de-escalation tool. Staff will discuss and list concerns within Grand Bay Elementary School and discuss ideas and thoughts on how to best handle aggressive behavior situations. Staff will be taught to avoid power struggles, recognize triggers, and distress in students and staff, develop a positive rapport and relationship with students, and learn how to effectively implement and manage behavior accommodation and intervention within the school. That's a lot to learn and understand, so that's where those Google Forms come in handy. Teachers will review, demonstrate, and model de-escalation techniques as well as other methods to make sure restraint is the last resort in managing student behavior. Again, sometimes you may have to, due to safety reasons, you may have to use restraint, but again, we want it to be the last resort. Students, teachers, and administrators will work together to build a positive rapport and learning environment. So the confidentiality for this research project. Teachers will be given a consent form detailing the purpose of the study, why they were chosen, what will be involved in participating, the risks and benefits, their rights as a respondent, if the research will be published, and who they can contact for more information. Administrators will be given a permission to conduct research form detailing what the study proposes, when the study will take place, who will conduct the study, and results of the study. These are two important forms that are a must before I can even begin to research the project. Like I previously stated, the consent form and the permission to conduct research forms are the most important two procedures before I can even get to the procedures and action plan of the research problem. And then once I have that, all school staff will be introduced to terminology and strategies to help reduce aggressive behaviors and promote a safe environment. The best practice to address behaviors is to have a plan, be consistent, set clear expectations, take control of the situation, diffuse the situation and or student before it escalates any further. Be calm as the adult, talk positively, give space and wait time, and change the subject to a topic for a student that the student enjoys. These are all de-escalation techniques and skills that can be done before you put your hand on a child. Next, implementing a plan or method of crisis prevention is the most important step in managing behavior. What instrument or tool are you going to use or provide for training for teachers to be able to implement these plans? In the method of managing crisis safely, that is what Grand Bay Elementary will use, it is short for MCS, participants learn evidence-based techniques for prevention, build relationships, managing behavior, and engaging positively with students. And that's from the Glenwood site from 2024. More procedures include the plan for a study. The plan is to compare the correlation of using de-escalation skills to decrease the number of students restrained. Again, teachers will be trained and prepared to use the method of de-escalation when addressing and managing aggressive behaviors, and that is from the MCS. Data from the School Behavior Incident Report will be monitored monthly to determine if there's a correlation of reduced number of students being restrained. That is the main purpose of this, is to try something different, not always going straight to restraint. Will these, learning of terminology and, being patient and waiting as an adult, help not only build a rapport, because maybe if you build that rapport, students won't be so quick to always be aggressive. So again, the purpose of this is to really see if there's a correlation with de-escalation skills and the decrease of students being restrained. Best practices. So best practices for Grand Bay Elementaries is the managing crisis safely, which would be your MCS, and mirror and match. It's part of the techniques used within MCS. Step 1, the adult adjusts their posture and voice to that of the student. Step 2, involves the adult making their posture and tone smaller than that of the student so the student understands that the adult cares. Because sometimes when we come in and we're raising our voice and the student raising their voice, no one's winning. It's a power struggle. Step 3, if the student has calmed down and a conversation is able to be had by asking a few yes or no questions, open-ended questions, and or bring up a subject the student enjoys based on the student's level of calmness. Because sometimes you can get their mind off the situation or whatever they're upset with. Validity and population. So the internal and external validity. The dependent variable in this study is the overuse of adult restraints on students. The independent variable is the use of de-escalation strategies by adults to decrease the use of restrained students. This will be measured by a number of incidents that involve restraints via the Grand Bay Elementary Behavior Incident Report. Special populations. Grand Bay Elementary is pre-kindergarten through 6th grade, but only a specific population of students with behavior deficits will be used in this study. This group was chosen due to the high trend and frequent use of restraint via the school's behavior incident report. So my conclusion. Results. There is an expectation that the consistent use of de-escalation techniques will assist in limiting the number of incidents involving restraint. Positive results will promote positive connections between adult and student and create a more welcoming and safe school culture. That's what it's most about. Yes, limiting, restraint and using those de-escalation skills, but you want kids to come to a school where they feel inclusive and they're engaged and they feel safe and that the teacher and student have a great rapport. Reflection. If I could change my original plan, I would discuss implement a safety team for a school. This team will consist of staff who have shown the skill of de-escalating situations. They'll be called to assist and provide support with behavior incidents because you want those teachers who, are doing it correctly and really understanding. You want them to be able to model and show, other teachers how it should be done. And you also want those people around because you do not want to put your hand on a student. It changes the whole rapport between you and that student. Another reflection, I will conduct more research on other forms of de-escalation tactics and support, not just MCS. Thank you.